Let me tell you something that might sting a little bit. If you have to chase your team for updates, you don't have a team. You have a very expensive to do list with salaries. You hired smart, capable adults, but they act like they're helpless children who can't make a decision without daddy's permission. Every quick question steals time from your family, and every problem that they bring you, instead of helping you solve issues, they keeps you trapped in the business. And that's the difference between a self-managing team and a self-draining one. This comes down to three rules that most founders they accidentally violate every single day, and I used to be guilty of this too. So one night at 2 a.m., I get this Slack ping about a customer refund issue. It was like a $47 refund at 2 in the morning on a Saturday. I was furious, not really at my team member, but at myself, because I realized that the only reason I was still getting messages like this is because I had trained my team to depend on me for everything. And not because they weren't capable of handling a simple refund, but because I had never built a system that gave them ownership and authority to think for themselves. I'd accidentally created a team of question askers instead of problem solvers, and my family was paying the price for my terrible leadership every single night. And most founders, I'm telling you, they delegate tasks, and we need to do it the right way. So here's rule number one: outcome liberation. Stop telling people how to do it and start telling them what done looks like. Most founders, again, delegate tasks, sending follow-up emails to these 50 customers. That's what they're saying. They want follow-up emails sent to 50 people. The smart founder, this is how they delegate the outcome. Own customer retention and get it to 95% this quarter. Okay, there's a difference. Here's the magic. When you give someone an outcome instead of a task, they stop waiting for your next instruction and they start thinking like an owner who has skin in the game. They become problem solvers, not problem reporters. The result, your team stops bringing you every decision and starts bringing you results. And you get your evenings back because they're thinking instead of just following orders blindly. Now, rule number two is the truth dashboard, because if you can't measure it, your team can't own it. Most teams and the problems that teams have aren't performance problems. They're clarity problems. When your team doesn't know the score, they can't win the game. When they can't see the metrics that matter, they focus on the activities that don't. But when you install a truth dashboard, a clear real-time metrics that show who's winning and who needs help, something magical happens. Your team starts to self-correct without having you to say a word. They see their numbers dropping, they fix it before you even know that there's a problem. They see their metrics improving and they push harder without you having to motivate them. The scorecards eliminate the need for micromanagement because the truth manages itself. Now, rule number three is rhythm over reminders, because freedom requires predictable structures, not constant chaos. Most founders live in reminder hell, chasing updates, asking for status reports, and wondering what happened with projects. But when you install a rhythm, predictable cadence that everybody knows and follows, the reminders disappear. Weekly team syncs. Everyone knows when and how to report their progress. Monthly scorecard reviews. Metrics that get analyzed and adjusted systematically. Quarter strategic resets. Big picture alignment happens on schedule. When rhythms exist, your team knows exactly when to communicate, what to report, and how to stay aligned without you having to chase anyone. And the result, your family gets predictable time with you because your business runs on systems, not your constant availability. So I want to tell you a little bit about what happens when you implement these three rules. Greg was getting like 30 questions daily from his team, and after installing these systems, he went from babysitting every decision to making 5 strategic choices per week. And he took a 3-week family vacation, and he came back to find his business had grown. My other friend Stacy, he transformed his question-asking team into a problem-solving ownership group using the Truth Dashboard. His daily management time dropped from 6 hours to 1 hour. His daughter said, "Daddy's not stressed anymore when he comes home." That's amazing. That's the power of ownership systems, and your team starts thinking like you even when you're not there. So your business is a perfect mirror of how you lead, okay? That's the truth of what's going to define your legacy. And if you operate from chaos, your team mirrors chaos. If you lead through constant reminders, they become reminder dependent. If you solve every problem, they stop thinking. But when you lead with the rhythm, the clarity, and ownership systems, they move in sync with your vision, and that's when you're not watching. And that's awesome. So that's how you go from managing projects to multiplying impact. And your family gets a leader who's present, not some manager who's always distracted by other people's problems and not really fully present when you need to be. And these are the exact systems that I install in companies doing $1 million to $10 million plus, who are tired of their founders being expensive babysitters. It's how you stop managing smart people like children and start leading them like the capable adults that you hired them to be and that you know they can be. Your family deserves a leader who comes home energized, not a manager who's exhausted and burned out from solving other people's problems all day. Start your transformation right now. I put it all in the book, buybacktimeformula.com/YT book. Get the book. It's free, just cover shipping. It's a heavy book. It's 128 pages. You'll put it by your computer. It's going to be your battle guide to get you out from being the bottleneck that you are now to the present father you know that you need to be, while your system and the frameworks support your company and your profits increase. I've seen it. I've done it. I went from 20 million to 50 million doing this exact same thing, because the goal isn't to manage better. It's to build something so systematized that your team thinks like they're the owners, and you can finally think like an architect. So go get the book, and I'll see you on the inside.